market going, Miguel? And what do you think about an 80 to the 90% drop in the bear market?
All right, so okay, I'll take it first.
Yeah.
No big deal. So I definitely think we're gonna have a blow off top by the end of this year. Whether it's gonna be
Miguel, what's a blow off top? We got some newbies in the chat.
good question. Good question. So blow off top means Bitcoin, right? And the crypto market goes parabolic, which means it shoots straight up, gigantic candles in the charts, right? A drastic euphoric momentum happens in the markets where prices just, if Bitcoin is moving 1,000, 2,000 bucks, and you're like, oh, that's a lot of money, you're going to be seeing $10,000 moves within days, right? Within weeks, and you're going to see this gigantic peak, and then the chart, you're going to see the gigantic drop right after. That's a blow off top. Parabolic movement cannot last long. So I believe we're going to see that by the end of this year, whether it's on BitBoy Crypto's timeline, which he's claiming for like the ending of September, beginning of October-ish, or later in the year, which I've heard CVO Crypto talk about, for December, which I would tend to agree with more than September. I think there's not enough time between now and September for a blow off top. So I believe that. I do believe we're going to see an 80% to 90% drop in the bear markets. But the difference between this bear market, which we discussed before, and 2018 is we will not see a 80% drop and just nothing for the next 2 to 3 years until next Bitcoin halving. We will be seeing huge swings happening throughout the entire bear market until the next big halving event happens for Bitcoin. Just how we had a 50% drop in May, and now we've come almost all the way back up since then. We're going to be seeing big drops. If we go to 100, 200, we're going to be having gigantic drops, whether they're 50, 60% at a time, then going right back up another, 40, 30%, coming back down, dropping again, and then just going to be seeing these gigantic swings up and down, which we not see in the last bear market.
Yeah, the reason I agree with that, Miguel, I heard people saying when the institutions were coming in this go round that people were thinking that the volatility was going to calm down, and my initial reaction was like, wait a minute, listen. These institutions, right? These hedge funds that are playing this game are playing the game, and they have so much money, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so they are here to do one thing and one thing only: accumulate. And guess who they want it to cost money? They want dumb money. That's you, that's me, that's any retail trader. They want you buying the top, and they want to be buying the bottom. They want you selling your bags, right, to them because you're scared, right? Like a bunch of people did when we had the drop in May, right? A bunch of people ran away, and guess what happened with the whale wallets? Whale wallets are wallets that hold 1,000 Bitcoin or more. They have massive amounts of money. Guess what happened? The whale wallets were accumulating. And so what I think is going to happen is I do agree with you that once the bear market happens, that we're going to have some wild price swings, and it's going to be exactly what I was just saying. It's going to be them basically pumping. And I don't want to say pump and dump. That kind of puts another thought into people's minds. But they are going to be absolutely playing with these markets. Okay. Now, here's what I do think, though. I just don't see this. Okay. The economic landscape is where I get hung up right now. If we didn't have everything that happened in 2020, if we didn't have all of the political instability that we have right now, I think that I would be on board with saying, hey, you know what? Even with this mini bear market that we had, if you want to call it that, for a couple months, I would still say, hey, like, we're going to see 200K, right? I would have been on board with that. Here's where I think that falls short. I think it falls short because something on the Jenga game of life that we are playing right now, the block's going to get pulled. Right. And I think that it's going to happen sooner than later. And so I think that is when we're going to have the huge dump. I don't think that we're going to see above 100K. That's not me being bearish. I hope we do. You guys all know I definitely own Bitcoin and everything that follows it, like a lost puppy on the way up. You know what I mean? I do hope that we do. But what I don't, the only reason I see the 80 to 90% from there, or 80%, if you will, from 90 or 100K, right around there, is because of political unrest, because of something absolute. People call it a black swan event, call it what you want. I think that is where we're going to fall off. But I think very quickly that's going to recover. And people are going to be flocking to crypto and saying, hey, I'm done with what we're doing here. So that's
So
kind of my
before we
thought.
get to these other questions that are coming up, we're getting some pretty good questions on here
Yeah.
on YouTube. What do you mean by political risk? What is an event that you're looking out for? You're like, okay, this is it. This is gonna make things, go bust. So what's an example?
I'll give you a couple examples. I don't think this one in particular is going to make this happen, but as part of well, I'll just say it, the mortgage. There's going to be a mortgage crisis. We are going. I'm not talking about the moratorium on evictions, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's going to suck, but I think overall that's going to be kind of a no story. It's going to maybe make some little waves. I think that I just bought a new house recently, and I sold a house when I did that. I sold my old house for too much money, and I bought the house that I'm living in right now for, yeah, you guessed it, too much money, right? And so the markets are so frothy. The housing markets are so frothy. They can't hold up much longer. The stock market's the same freaking way, right? We have pumped so much money into the market, right? That it's boiling over. It's too frothy, and I think that combined with what we have going on in the White House, combined with what we have going on over on in Afghanistan, combined with the inflation slash deflation that's going on, something's got to give. So that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Okay. So let's